Okay. So Ubisoft had their uh, what is it? The Ubisoft Forward, I think it's called. And they revealed some games. I only really care about two of them. And that is the a Star Wars game and some more Mirage stuff. I'll start with the Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws, because that one doesn't have much to it. I think so far it actually looks pretty good. Uh, I think this is obviously it's an early, or I wouldn't say that early, but it's an earlier build, so it's gonna look better to it. But when watching it, I don't know if my my ears are just broken or if the sound quality was just kind of quiet. The sound effects sound a lot quieter than they should be, so I don't know. I'm sure it'll sound better because I mean it's not finished yet. I just kind of want to point that out. Combat looks good. Gunplay, while simple, you shut up. You. While simple doesn't look very complicated, which is a good thing. There aren't any health bars in the character, so it seems like it's probably gonna be more dependent on like enemies with how many shots. It also doesn't look like there's ammo, but rather a cooling system, sort of like Battlefront 2. Um, so, and the different like settings on it are interesting. What?
Disney is on Lucasfilm back to George Lucas.
No, they're not. But I'm assuming that I'm assuming those settings are for like contracts. I'm assuming this is gonna be one of those where you pick up or accept different contract or bounties. And there's certain ones like don't kill somebody, so you have the stun one, the normal blaster, and then there's also one that like takes out a shield, I think. I like that you're able to pick up different weapons, and I'm going to assume you'll be able to buy and equip different weapons, and not just standard pistol. At least that's my hope. What? Okay, back to the speeder looks good. It seems like I don't know if this would be one of those like where you land and no, you land your ship and you get a speeder bike, or if you have to just find one on the planet. But it looks like your control zone isn't very janky. There's like this Deadeye thing where it slows down. So same with the ship combat. Looks good. Kind of looks like the Skywalker Saga with the ship combat. It's the same with the gunplay. So the reputation meter thing looks kind of looks interesting. I'm guessing that'll go up or down depending on if you do jobs or not. I don't know. Or it's like depending on if they attack you on sight or if they don't. This Imperial meter is, I'm gonna guess, how close or far you are from Imperial, and or how wanted you are. I'm also gonna guess that there's a bounty system, where, sort of like Odyssey, where depending on if you do good things or bad things, you will bounty hunters will get sent after you or not. I don't know. But for a game that was announced, like 2 years ago, I think it was, when EA got their exclusive rights, I think either revoked or just that contract ended. This actually looks pretty good, and, and I definitely feel like that the style of announcement for the games should be the standard. Have a cinematic trailer that shows off some of the characters and maybe basic story beats, and then have a gameplay trailer instead of just having a cinematic trailer and then nothing. Moving on to some of the characters. Kay looks interesting. I am worried that she'll feel too similar to Dr. Aphra. I haven't read much of Dr. Aphra, but from what I do know, they seem kind of similar. Maybe kind of, like I said, I haven't. I don't remember much of what I've read. Moving on to Mirage. So I was gonna make a video on just Mirage, and then Outlaws got announced and some more gameplay came out. So I'm probably only gonna talk about what came out today. So starting off with, the new trailer and the new gameplay stuff. It definitely seems like it's gonna be a mix between the combat and the UI of the RPG games, with the stealth and movement being like the older games. So sort of like a good in between, which I think is good. I think that's how it should be, because the older games with like the combat was very much counter, attack, counter, and then it's very repetitive. Um, I think it does, although some of it does look a little too similar to the original. Mostly like this barrel system where you have to go through the roof. The first game has that, where to get to, you basically had, I'm guessing it'll be similar to that, where you have your target, you have investigations, and then you go kill the bastard. So, do I think they'll make a remaster or remake of the original? I think it'll depend on how well this is received or does. I'm a little sad that the Hidden Blade doesn't look to be its own weapon again. We haven't had that since, I think, Rogue was the last game to let you wield the Hidden Blade as a separate weapon. I just want to fight people with the Hidden Blade again. The similarities to Valhalla again seem to only be with the movement, or how the movement looks, so, like crouching, all that. Assassinations, because I want to say the last 3 games where I think it was the right bumper was the assassination button. I'm assuming you'll be able to change the controls. Maybe to a more classic system? Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Parker looks good. I believe Ubisoft said at one point that Basim is supposedly one of the fastest assassins. He doesn't look very fast, but he may play fast. It could just be because, it's just a trailer. He may just look kind of slow. So, the marksman feature looks good. Gives a little bit more of a challenge, so you have to kill some guys, and then you have the option to scout out your target, instead of, say, something like Origins and Odyssey, where you could just use the bird for anything. Eagle Vision seems to be making a return in like 8 years. The chain assassination thing looks cool. And the first gameplay trailer with I think it was the State of Play for PlayStation, seems like you'll just kind of have options to how to kill a target. So it doesn't seem like it's just going to be, some of the other games where you have your target, then you go up to them, kill them, or I think it's the Ezio trilogy. It was some of the other games where you kind of had to go around and not get caught. I think Unity and Syndicate have where you have multiple options to kill somebody. So, seems like it'll do that. So, yeah, these 2 games look interesting. That's all I got. What do you think? So, yeah. That's all I got. Bye. Okay, so this is coming after I just recorded the previous bit. I did not realize that there was a story trailer. Will you stop? For Mirage, so I want to give my thoughts on that. I think, so far, I think the trailer actually looks really good. I think, or not sure. Fuck, what I'm talking about. The story. It seems like it's gonna be more about. It seems like it's gonna be kind of similar to Unity, where I guess Basim wants to kind of do his own thing, but he's struggled with being part of the Brotherhood and probably not knowing his connections. So I think it was Loki. I think it's Loki from Valhalla. So I'm guessing that'll be an aspect of it, and Roshan, I believe her name is, probably isn't going to trust him a lot. So, wanted to give my quick thoughts on that. I think the story looks good. It's, I believe, shorter. I think it's about the same length as Revelation. So, I don't know how much time it'll be skipping, because I think this is supposed to be his journey from recruit to master assassin. But I don't know. I haven't been fully following this, so hey, you know what? We'll figure it out later. Alright, yeah, that's it.